What's going on, guys? My name is Eldeniro and welcome to episode 31 of my Leicester City career mode. If you guys want to see episode 32 later on today, then if you can put 600 likes on this episode before, I don't know, half 7 around that time, then the episode will be uploaded at that time. So we're starting off this episode with a game against Sunderland, and as you can see, Cheku Koyate makes his debut in the centre of a kind of a defensive midfield position. Sunderland's team is decent enough. They've got Rodwell, they've got Jaccarini, they've got plenty of players who can cause us problems, and they almost did just that in the 6th minute when Rodwell's header had to be tipped over cleverly by Kasper Schmeichel in goal. But we came on an attack in the 22nd minute with Camera on the ball. He had plenty of options ahead, especially the run from Sinclair, but he went to Gale, who went for the shot, and from distance it actually had to be parried away. Ordinarily those kind of get caught in mid-air by the goalkeeper, but just beyond the half-hour mark, Sunderland came on the attack, which just served as a launch pad for our counter-attack, with Stones finding Sinclair, who played it through to Camera, who got into a slightly more advanced position in this game, but the ball was fed through to Dwight Gale, who has the pace to get round anybody. He gets into a comfortable enough position to finesse it around Pantilimon in the Sunderland goal, and he makes it 1-0 to us on the counter-attack, as that's where we play our best football, obviously. But it was a great way to start the game. And then in the 35th minute, Bridcut on the ball for Sunderland. He's looking for an option anywhere that he can play it through. He goes for Mandaron, and what a shot that was, or Mandron. But a great save as well from Kasper Schmeichel at that moment. 5 minutes later, we came on the attack with Knockhart playing on the right-hand side of midfield. I'll explain why in a second. Knockhart looks up and crosses the ball into Dwight Gale, who makes it 2-0 with his second goal of the afternoon, his 9th of the season in the Premier League so far, which is a decent enough return, considering we signed him for something like 2.2 million maybe at the time. And he's become a fantastic player for us up front, leading the line really well, but the goalkeeper should have saved that. But Knockhart started on the right hand side of midfield for this game, and you'll also have noticed that there was no there was no who was that? Gary Gardner was missing from the team, and that's because 2 days after this fixture we're playing against Spurs in the league. So this is on the Sunday, Spurs are on the Tuesday. Always going to be difficult to prepare for that. But as you can see, in the 56th minute, Sunderland have got a corner which Jaccarini comes across to take. He crosses it in, and Rodwell goes for the shot, which is cleared off the line, but the referee spotted an infringement inside the box and felt the need to award a penalty to Sunderland. And I was just like racking my brain trying to figure out what the hell I had done in the box, because all I knew was that I cleared a ball off the line. But it turns out Kasper Schmeichel dived for the ball with the shot, and apparently that makes it a penalty. Now, I just don't know, like, do you guys concede more penalties than normal on this game, or was last year worse? I don't know, but Mandron steps up to take the penalty against Kasper Schmeichel. He's a left-footed striker. He's a fairly young player as well. He's had a good game so far, but his penalty hits off the post, and thankfully enough, the defender manages to clear it. Koyate playing it to Knockhart, who plays the ball down the line. It goes to Sinclair, initially aimed at Boyata, but Sinclair's pace takes over. He takes on Rakitski, or whatever that defender's name is, and gets into the right-hand side position to cross into Camera, whose header hits off the crossbar. An amazing turn of events, and then it was cleared quite coolly by the Sunderland defence. But we would get one more shot in the game in the 74th minute as Camera is in midfield. He plays it to Gary Mackay-Steven, who finds Jeffrey Schlupp. Schlupp has a look up and shoots with his left foot to see his shot saved and put wide by the goalkeeper. That's how it ended at the King Power Stadium. A 2-0 victory for us, thanks to a Dwight Gale brace, and a really good performance overall, I have to say. Like, we played on the break, we played to our strengths, and we did really well. Here's a little snapshot of the league table and how it looks now. We're level on points with Liverpool and Arsenal. We've got a game in hand over Liverpool, so we can leapfrog them and take back our 5th place position, but we're going to aim for 4th because I just really want that 4th place. Here's a look at the squad report on the screen if you guys were curious. I don't think there's anything really weird to report on it. The old players are still declining, blah 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 blah, but you will see some of the new signings actually, and how they look overall, so that's pretty cool. I think Rowan Ince, I never actually showed his stats. Andy Watson, you guys saw his stats, and a few other players, but I want to get back to the penalty thing. That was ludicrous in the Sunderland game. Kasper Schmeichel dived in response to the ball being shot at the goal. That's what goalkeepers do. I wasn't controlling him at all, and because there was a Sunderland player right next to him, the dive was judged to have produced a penalty, or warranted a penalty, and I just think that that's really stupid. Like, is this year worse than last year for penalties, or do you think last year was worse? I think it's kind of hard to quantify overall. You'd maybe have to play a little bit more more of this, but there's one thing I actually wanted to talk about. Danny Drinkwater, on the very first episode of this season, this entire series, Danny Drinkwater came to me and he was like, oh, I feel threatened by all the media speculation, blah, 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 blah. And it's great that they have these new emotional bollocks features inside the game that, you know, they make players feel things and stuff, like listening to Taylor Swift. But it was so stupid that we're 18 months on from that day and he's still feeling threatened. Like, mate, would you not just get over it? It's so bizarre. But our next game is against Tottenham Hotspur. They've got a really, really good team, which has been strengthened in January by Gonzalo Higuain, and this is his second appearance for Tottenham overall. They're playing with Capoue in defence, which I initially marked down as a weak spot for them and one to look at for me. But we played with Tom Ince on the right hand side and Gary Mackay-Steven on the left. No Zaha for this game because he was just too tired. But in the first minute, Gonzalo Higuain showed what he was capable of with a left-footed strike being saved by Kasper Schmeichel in the rain at White Hart Lane, and they came forward again in the 8th minute. Now this moment I've just put in to show you how ridiculous this game was to play. Paulinho playing the ball across to Pritchard, and watch from here, just watch how fast they pass the ball. It's absolutely insane. Like, this is in the range, you know, and they're playing this sleek one-touch, amazingly fast passing movements. Thankfully Pritchard's shot did go over with his left foot, but such a ridiculous sweeping move. We got one kind of half chance in the 22nd minute as Mackay-Steven plays it into Berahino, who I did go with up front because Dwight Gale was still feeling the effects of the brace against Sunderland. Like, he wasn't really fully fit, but we got a corner and Koyate's header just went over, but I just put that in to emphasise that he had a free header in the box and didn't score from it, which was kind of annoying. But another really fast passing move from Tottenham here with Dembele, Townsend, I think Ericsson gets involved as well. All the lads start linking up on the edge of the box. Dembele's shot goes way over, but just an example of how quickly they pass the ball. Just past the hour mark inside the second half, Andros Townsend and Asuikato combined pretty well on the left hand side to create a half chance for Spurs, but it comes out to Dembele who finds Ericsson, and Ericsson gives the hosts the lead in the rain. And I think the rain played a huge factor in this goal because Kasper Schmeichel has been relatively solid. He had a moment against Liverpool where the ball slipped through his hands and Asaidi scored. That was this season in the game where we lost 3-0 to them. But this was just a ridiculous goal. Like, the move was nothing. The chance should have been cleared. Dembele shouldn't have even had any right to pass the ball inside the box. Ericsson should have been marked, but Kasper Schmeichel should have saved it above everything else. It's a ludicrous goal. It's like he reacted way too late to it and he couldn't get it out of his feet to belt it clear, and it hits off his foot and goes in off the rebound, and it was just... look at that. Like, you can't be having that. But immediately after conceding that goal, Jeffrey Schlupp came on, and he always changes things for us. We went on ultra attacking even, I think, and Schlupp took on Capoue. He got round him, evaded the slide tackle. He was the weakness in the team, was Etienne Capoue, and Schlupp gets in to score for us and level the game just 4 minutes after going a goal behind in sort of unjust fashion, in my opinion. But a great moment for Schlupp. He's an absolute hero. He's just amazing. I love him. In the 70th minute, Tottenham again looking towards that left hand side with Asuikato and Townsend combining. They're both able to swing across in pretty well, but in this instance they opted to go for the midfielders to pass it through, and Ericsson's shot had to be saved well by Kasper Schmeichel. But a few minutes later they came forward again. This time Townsend had switched to the right hand side of the pitch. He goes back to Kyle Walker, who has options everywhere around him. He goes to Vertonghen, whose shot crashes off the post, leading us into a counter attack with Schlupp taking the ball and going charging down the right hand side of the pitch. The fastest man in Leicester, even though Bakayoko is actually faster than him, but shut up because Schlupp is the fastest. Schlupp gets into the box, he turns his man, he finesses it into the corner, and he gives us the lead completely against the run of play. Jeffrey Schlupp only on the pitch a matter of maybe 15 minutes or so, probably 20 minutes actually, that's really bad maths for me, but he ended up scoring the winning goal for us. And these stats emphasize that I am not that good at this game at all. I get absolutely obliterated in games, and this is why I kind of mentioned in the last episode that when I lost to Brentford, like, that really annoyed me. Like, that loss just really affected me, and I just went into every game like a little bit less confident, and these stats kind of back that up. I'm not actually that good at the game. I've just found out a way to win, and I don't know how I'm doing it and how I'm continuously riding this luck. It's ridiculous. But the Leicester board actually gave me a good enough review. They sent me a nice email saying that I'm the right person to carry on the show. It's so stupid that the fans were all like, oh yeah, we want you out because you lost to Brentford and all. It's like, motherfuckers, I've led you to, like, we were 4th place in the season for a long time. We were 3rd place in the league for a brief moment there. Like, you can't go about sacking me just because you don't like something about whatever. But here's a look at the league table now and how it looks. It's only there for a couple of seconds. We're level on points with City and Arsenal, and it's getting really, really intense. It's going to be a really close season, I think. If we can continue on, get any momentum in our fight for 4th place, it's going to be massive. But something happened here as I actually continued playing the game. Our next game is against Liverpool, as you can see, and that'll be in the next episode. But on this Saturday, Arsenal actually drew 1-1 with West Brom, so I didn't show the league table at this moment. Jeffrey Schlupp wants to start in the next game, but I didn't show the league table. There it is there, right? Arsenal are in 4th. And they have 47 points, and there's their draw with West Brom. So if we win our next game against Liverpool, we'll actually overtake Arsenal. Sorry that was edited really poorly or whatever. I wasn't actually planning on talking about it in this episode, but there you go, it's on the screen. That's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If this hits 600 likes before round 7, then the next episode will be uploaded then. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.